Okay, so you're here because you want to get right to the core of things. Yeah.
Yeah,
To really grasp what's key without, wading through tons of info.
exactly. Cut through the noise.
Right. So today we're diving into May 1st, 2025. We've got three interesting sources:
Hmm.
the astrology forecast and a tarot reading, both from Tarot by High C, and also this really evocative allegorical story.
Nice mix.
Yeah. And our goal, our mission really, is just to pull out the most crucial insights. We're looking at how to handle, well, loyalties, tricky things, and how to really look after our emotional selves.
And what's fascinating, I think, is how these different views, astrology, tarot archetypes, the story, they kind of seem to be nudging us towards a similar understanding. It's quite cool.
Definitely. Okay, let's jump into the stars first. The astrology for May 1st, moons in Cancer.
Ah, Cancer. Straight away, that brings up themes of like feeling secure, nurturing.
And self-acceptance, I mentioned that too, emotional fulfillment. It feels like, I don't know, the universe is saying, hey, connect with your feelings, even the messy ones,
Mm.
the vulnerable bits.
Totally. Moon in Cancer definitely dials up the emotional volume. And the forecast points out potential for complicated feelings. That's something to really note.
Upgraded feelings, yeah.
And interestingly, it also flags an increased interest in like quick fixes.
Oh!
Yeah, which makes sense, right? If you're feeling things deeply, that urge for like instant comfort or a simple solution can get really strong.
That absolutely clicks. Like reaching for a quick Band-Aid when you feel raw.
Hmm.
The forecast also talks about being open, open to insights, new tech, even things called higher vibrational energies.
Hmm.
But, and this is key, keeping it real, realistic expectations. So explore, yes, but stay grounded.
Yeah, that balance is vital, isn't it? Openness lets new stuff in, lets you grow, but that dose of realism, that's how you actually use it effectively, integrate it without getting, carried away.
So with this moon and Cancer vibe, what stands out to you for like practical self-care?
Well, the forecast really pushes embracing your deepest feelings,
Right.
trusting your own path. And it even suggests, specifically for the evening, connecting with what really nourishes you, properly nourishes.
Oh, I like that part. And the image it painted, mothering ourselves with compassion to like boost our inner light, that really resonated with me. How would someone actually do that though? Self-mothering.
That's a great question. It's about extending yourself the same kindness you'd give someone you care about. So if you're feeling swamped, instead of beating yourself up,
Which is easy to do.
so easy. Instead, you ask, okay, what do I actually need right now? Maybe
Yeah.
it's rest. Maybe it's doing something comforting. Maybe it's just letting yourself feel the feeling without judging it.
Okay.
But, and this is a really critical point in the forecast of like, watch out for emotional outsourcing
Mm.
as opposed to seeking, real support.
Emotional outsourcing.
Oh, okay.
Well, let's unpack that a bit. Does that mean like expecting other people to fix your feelings for you
Oh.
or manage them instead of doing the inner work or finding healthy, give and take support?
Yeah, that's exactly it. Or it could even look like constantly needing someone else to tell you your feelings are okay, that external validation thing, instead of just sitting with them yourself or seeking genuine connection.
Ah, I see. So it connects back to those quick fixes in a way, looking outside for something that needs internal attention.
Precisely. Genuine support is more mutual, it empowers you. Outsourcing can sometimes, well, keep you stuck.
Gotcha. Okay, let's pivot to the TarotScope for the day. The DOG card, but reversed. That imagery alone, it sparks thoughts.
It really does. The dog upright is all about loyalty, right? Companionship, being faithful.
Yeah, man's best friend.
Exactly. So when it's reversed, it's a major prompt to examine those things. But crucially, not just loyalty to others, but loyalty to yourself. That's the core theme here.
Self-loyalty, okay.
Yeah. It asks you to look really honestly at where you might be overextending yourself, giving too much time, energy, maybe emotional bandwidth.
To people or situations or maybe even old beliefs that just don't fit anymore.
Exactly that. And it makes you ask why. Are you doing it out of habit? Or maybe guilt? Or is it just fear of rocking the boat, fear of change?
Oof, those are big questions.
Mm.
That idea of being loyal out of habit or guilt,
Mm.
that hits home.
Doesn't it? And the reading puts those questions right out there. It also has this really stark warning. Don't betray yourself in the name of duty.
Why?
Yeah. It's like you can get so caught up in what you think you should do, who you should be loyal to, that your own needs just fall by the wayside completely.
I can definitely think of times, yeah, where I stayed with something longer than was healthy because of that sense of obligation. It's powerful how the tarot brings that pattern up.
It is. And it even suggests something quite radical sometimes, that Walking away, saying no, setting a boundary that can actually be the most loyal thing you can do, loyal to yourself.
That's a challenging thought because we're often taught that walking away is disloyal, right?
We are. But this reframes it as self-preservation, as self-respect. It also mentions being wary of, like, false friends or people who might be taking advantage, which leads straight to,
Boundaries.
exactly, the need for clear, firm boundaries that honor yourself. Check them, make sure they're strong.
And that connects right back to the emotional outsourcing idea from the astrology, doesn't it? If your boundaries are weak, if that self-loyalty isn't strong.
You're much more vulnerable to falling into those patterns, seeking external fixes, letting others cross lines. The emotional sensitivity from the moon in Cancer just makes those strong, clear boundaries even more essential.
Right, to protect that inner space.
Yeah.
Okay, this feels like the perfect time to bring in the story. The tale of Ashra and the loyal hound. This really pulled it all together for me.
Me too. You have Ashra, this healer, super kind, always giving,
Oh, hey.
and Tovin, her hound, who is just fiercely loyal.
But Tovin gets restless when Ashra overextends herself. That detail was brilliant.
Wasn't it? It's like he's an external barometer for her internal state. He senses the imbalance, her energy draining away even before she consciously clocks it. His anxiety mirrors her own disharmony.
And then that moment, bam, Tovin just refuses to follow her, stops in his tracks, and basically calls her out on her lack of self-loyalty.
It's such a powerful scene, unexpected. And his words, they cut right to the chase.
Can you remind us?
He says, Ashra, you give and give until nothing remains. Your loyalty to others is noble, but it has become a chain around your heart. You have forgotten to be loyal to yourself.
A chain around your heart. Wow. That's exactly what the tarot hinted at, loyalty becoming a burden, a trap.
Precisely. And Ashra has this sudden, stark realization. She sees she's neglected herself, let takers drain her light. It's a wake-up call.
So relatable for many people, I think.
And Tovin's wisdom that follows. Not all who ask deserve your light. Loyalty is a gift, not a burden. Choose where you place it.
Choose where you place it. That gives you agency back, doesn't it? It's not automatic. It's a conscious decision.
Exactly. And then Ashra goes to the river, takes that time for self-care, consciously chooses to nourish herself, reclaim her energy. It's a beautiful picture of healing through redirected loyalty inward.
And the lesson learned. True loyalty starts with loyalty to your own soul. It ties back perfectly to the dog reversed and that Cancer moon call for self-acceptance.
It really does. The way these three sources weave together is quite striking. Astrology points to emotional needs, self-compassion. Tarot says, hey, examine your loyalties, especially self-loyalty.
And the story just shows you vividly what happens when you don't and the power of choosing yourself.
Right.
So for you listening, when you boil it all down, what's the core message here? It really feels like it's saying that looking after your own needs, having those healthy boundaries, practicing self-compassion, it's not selfish.
Not at all. It's fundamental. It's the foundation for actually being well.
Yeah.
And maybe, kind of ironically, it's what allows you to genuinely support others without burning out. From a full cup, not an empty one.
Yeah.
Which brings up a really potent question for everyone, reflecting on this. Where are your loyalties pointed right now? Really look at them. Are they serving your highest good? Are they helping your inner light
Or have they become that chain Tovin talked about?
Yeah.
Maybe without you even realizing it.
Exactly. It's about finding that balance, isn't it? That sweet spot. Loyalty to others is great. It's valuable.
Tough work.
But not if it costs you your own well-being, your own emotional health. These sources together are like a strong invitation to just check that balance, reevaluate.
Yeah, a really compelling invitation. And when you think bigger picture, honoring your own needs, your boundaries, it lets you show up in the world more authentically, right? With genuine strength, not resentment or depletion.
Absolutely. Authenticity.
So maybe as you go about your day, just hold this thought. How could consciously checking in on your loyalties actually create more space? More space for your own light to shine brighter, like the astrology said.
And maybe also notice, where might you be doing a little bit of that emotional outsourcing? Leaning on others in a way that isn't quite genuine support, but more like expecting them to carry your load.
Yeah, some really powerful things to chew on there. Definitely food for thought.